unbelievable what they've been able to do.
Yeah, they certainly have, and they've done it in a way I don't think many people expected. Pawn and Koro as solo laners are probably the two best solo lane combination in the world. They are just that dominant across the board. Koro has stepped up so much and really turned into a powerhouse in the top lane, and Pawn has not missed a beat since Worlds. The exact same player coming through has been able to 1v1 mid lanes. He's got so many threats. He even kept pulling out Viger out of nowhere and being very good on it, and they're just complemented by a very solid number 2 cast. And it's hard to say that about a Deft, about Clearlove, about Mako. These guys are all world-class players, but they're just willing to let the game evolve at a different pace.
Yeah, and as a result, they're well and truly atop of the LPL standings and have been there pretty much since at least halfway through the split. So we're into Champs League now. EDG on the blue side, IG over on the red. We've flown through the bands here. We've got Hecarim, Ari, and Lissandra, the first 3 for Edward Gaming, and Jana LeBlanc with 1 more to come for IG.
Yeah, and wow, 2 respect bans towards Rookie. That Lissandra does get taken into the mid lane more often than not when we're talking about IG. And when you have a mid laner like Pawn and you throw 2 bans at someone, that's a pretty big props to Rookie coming into this game.
Yeah, and Rookie, I think, getting deserved respect on his Ari especially as well. Even 5.4 Ari, not quite the 5.2 powerhouse, deserves the ban there as well. LeBlanc, I love that respect to Pawn. And another potential mid lane ban here as well. Lulu has been a key ban in the LPL today.
Yeah, it certainly has. Lulu presents so much control, both in the mid-top positions, and really does a lot of things well. Wave clears particularly well. The speed up is one of the most impressive parts of the kit, and straight away jumping on that Victor pick.
Yeah, I mean, Pawn never wanted to shy away from an odd champion or a good champion. Victor's seen a lot of play recently, and makes sense that he would want something like Victor.
Yeah, and Pawn always amazes me. He picks up a champion, looks at it for about a week, and then looks like he's played it forever, is very quick at picking up new roles.
Yeah, just so diverse. He's probably got the biggest champion pool of any mid laner in the LPL. Just plays almost anything. You mentioned the Vega that he pulled out already. He can do some crazy stuff. What we didn't know, though, is Nidalee is still left open, and Cacao looks like he wants to take it.
Yeah, he certainly would want to take the carry-style Nidalee jungle. He had, I think, the original Nidalee game and didn't look fantastic, and since then has put the champion to great use.
I don't know about that. He built him a Dryas and got insanely far ahead in that game. He has had a poor Nidalee game, but I believe the first one of the LPL, Cacao took over on that champion, and he's got it here again, along with Corky for Kid.
Yeah, so Kid being able to pick up, once again, a solid mid-game carry, and that just suits them down to a T. And once again, now the threat of the poke comp comes out. They've got the pressure of a Xerath pickup in the mid lane, and Corky, best sieging AD carry. Nidalee, by far the best sieging jungler. And then if you throw Xerath in there, they need to get some hard engage. EDG answer with just that.
Yeah, some smart stuff here. I like that they've got the Victor as well, who is decent in the Corky-based comps with lots of rotations. And we are going to swap over the support. Still heavy engaged in the top lane. Should be the Maokai there for Koro. And we're going to have Mako on Annie, it looks like.
Yeah, so very heavy engage out of the Annie and Maokai pickup, especially if you go Righteous Glory in there. Allows you to, I guess, accelerate in there. And they've gone for a siege comp in its own right, but a different kind of siege comp pastry time. This is a fast push siege comp we see with the 2 Trinity Force users.
Yeah, potentially. I wonder if IG will commit to mid Ezreal here as well. Be a fairly solid pick here against the Victor. Always a safe mid laner if he does want to take it in. And maybe even Kitty's going to consider the engage support as well. John has been banned, so it's probably going to be something fairly pick-oriented here. Thresh, Leona, both fine picks for IG, and they are going to go for Ezreal. Thresh, you are right.
Yeah, I definitely think the reason they went with Thresh in this situation is they're looking for the disengage. The reason the Leona hover came through is it facilitates the top Gnar pickup, and Gnar has got through to the last round. Will be able to be taken into that top lane if Zatai wants, and has played it a couple of times recently. And the threat of Ezreal, Leona, Gnar is so big. There is so much upfront damage that comes out of that CC combo that you have to respect it, but goes for a different field, goes for the Thresh.
Yeah, interesting in that Rek'Sai's still open as well, which is at least being considered here by Clearlove. Makes sense with Nidalee being locked in so early that they let a jungler drop here, but Deft actually going to lock in Sivir for the first time in a long time here, and we are going to have Clearlove's Rek'Sai.
And I really like the composition coming out of EDG. They are looking to force early, shove the waves in, rotate Sivir around the map, get Maokai going in the heavy engage, and really try and brawl a poke comp.
Great lane here as well for Deft, up against Kid's Corky so far, so that all looks good here. Again, Annie's great with Sivir, Maokai's great with Sivir, like you mentioned. Even Rek'Sai very good with the speed up as well. I mean, Victor also wants mobility. You said it. The comp's great.
Yeah, it really is a solid pick ban phase coming through from EDG here, and now it's just up to what Zatai wants to take into the top lane. Would be surprised if it was a Kennen. honestly, I think that there are better disengaged supports available, but looks like that is what he wants to settle
Yeah,
for.
a little bit of team fighting, fairly lane dominant as well. Should be a pretty reasonable farm lane against Samalka, but he does lock in the cannon. So Zatai, again, former mid lane player. Not surprising to see him play mages just as a general rule on the top side, but with the Nara open, I'm a little bit surprised he didn't take something maybe slightly more flexible for team fights.
Yeah, the one thing you can say about Kennen is that he is one of the best anti-dive champions in the game, along with Morgana. So if this game goes south and they do need to farm up to the point where it becomes more of a double AD feel as opposed to a poke composition, they do have the tools in the wave clear and being able to, I guess, ensure that no one can dive them with the cannon pickup. So that, in that regard, I agree with it. However, just not the AoE composition that they're looking for right now. I think that the Gnar top with the Boomerang in mini Gnar form, such a good disengaged team.
Yeah, but instead we're going to have a big tanky guy here for Koro, and a mage that's starting to see a little bit more play. Of course, Kennen was effectively buffed on this patch. A big quality of life change for his ultimate and his W interaction. You now just get the W for free whenever you pop it. And this is the jungle matchup we've seen quite a lot of. We've had Dandy versus Cacao yesterday. Now Clearly versus Cacao. Rek'Sai in Italy.
Yeah, exactly right. Both flavor of the month. Very strong champions at the moment. And in the mid lane, Pawn with the victor. And actually, the Ezreal pickup for Rookie.
Yeah, I mean, again, they had to take him somewhere. They want a bit more fast push, a bit more double AD, adding to the poke and siege element. And Rookie, stellar player, of course, going to be just fine on the Ezreal, but an interesting matchup there against the Victor.
Yeah, it certainly is. So it looks like both teams got what they wanted. EDG with a very brawl-heavy team, and IG with the fast push. Let's see who gets the win.
Yeah, let's indeed. We'll get straight onto the Rift. And welcome now for game one between EDG and IG here. Two top-of-the-table teams at this point. IG making their way up towards the #1 spot. And, of course, EDG sitting there as the kings of the LPL once again so far. We're in our first game here. Both teams looking for points in EDG. I don't know if they can continue the win streak they've been on, but we'll see what they can do.
Yeah, certainly they think they can continue it. They have just looked so impressive throughout the entirety of the season. And you see they fan out level 1 looking to just set up standard lanes, and why not? If you are this good, you have to be confident playing standard.
Yeah, and amazing to see EDG again dominate LPL. Of course, they dominated all of last year in 2014, but that was with a very different looking team here as well. I mean, adding some Koreans in the mix, some guy called Deft, another guy called Pawn, you might have heard of them. They're pretty good, and of course, keeping some of the solid starters as well. You'd think that with Name gone from this team, that EDG would look different and maybe miss a couple steps, but have not missed a beat all season.
Yeah, and if you want an AD that plays a similar style to Name, you probably couldn't look past Deft. That's arguably, depending on what your trade of thought is, if you look for local success or versus international, Name and Deft are probably interchangeable with skill level at least. And we saw Name go on a tear yesterday, and Deft's had a very solid season so far. So that position, I think that we're comfortable with. It really was Pawn that catapulted this team into much further success.
Yeah, and you as a fine regional player in China for sure, very strong, had a decent performance at Worlds, but Pawn, world champion, guy's just amazing.
Yeah, he certainly is, and it is really that diversity and the versatility that sells it for you. As you said, very admirable performance, but Pawn really is something else.
Yeah, and EDG have started things off here with an invade over on towards the red buff, just looking for the IG jungle. Cacao's over on the other side, almost got kicked out of his jungle there by the looks of things, walking towards his blue. Should be able to vertical jungle, but the first win does go to Edward Gaming.
Yeah, it certainly doesn't. Maokai able to get level 2, and no freeze in Maokai lane means that it's a huge win. He can teleport down there right now, pick up a lot of farm. As long as he doesn't get dove, we'll be in a good position. Might even just be able to walk with how slow it's being pushed. And Cacao still level 1, forced to run the long way to the red buff and pick that up as his first camp.
Yeah, a little bit dangerous, but no one there to try and punish him for it. Clearlove actually taking the Raptor camp away from IG's side of the jungle. So we will jungle vertically now, of course. Top side belongs to EDG. Bottom side should belong to IG.
Yeah, the only danger of this is that Nidalee has bottom side of the jungle and has the quickest dragon clear and probably the safest out of junglers at the moment. So that is the only risk I can see. Otherwise, EDG probably put themselves about 35 to 40 seconds ahead jungle pathing with a good invade.
And the interesting thing as well is that there's a lane swap here. We expected the 2v2 matchup. We talked about standard lanes being just fine here for both teams, in fact. But for whatever reason, Civ is actually in towards the top, and Zatai once again is going to be in a 1v2.
Yeah, and it looks like it is the fast push that is coming out. It might be the fact they want to keep Zatai down, but they're shoving that wave into the turret repetitively. And Kennen, later on in the game, when he gets that W stacked up and you can use the Lightning Rush, has good wave clear, right now has very poor wave clear.
Yeah, especially defensive wave clear is kind of poor because you have to get in a melee range, basically get on top of the creeps with your reactive and then W them all down. And without levels or items, that's a very difficult proposition right now for Zatai. And this keeps happening. Teams keep picking on this new top laner.
Yeah, and that's what you do. If you are against a new top laner who hasn't really played the lane swap meta that much, you repetitively throw them into it until they prove that they can deal with it.
And one thing Clearlove has been very good at, especially yesterday, if you missed his Lee Sin game, do yourself a favor and go watch it, but Clearlove is very good at engineering ganks and setting up situations and especially picking on a laner that gets behind.
Yeah, he certainly isn't. I guess the Lee Sin game was an extreme example, but he's had games throughout the entirety of the season where he really has set up a hotel and just repetitively visited clientele and bullied them out of lanes.
Yeah, the resort has been open for business all split long and deft, actually. Now the rest of EDG have certainly reaped its benefits. Mako, by the way, did actually start Relic Shield. Didn't even notice that until just now, but that also helps with a bit of the fast pushing.
Yeah, it certainly does and keeps the sustain up there. It means you can take some errant harass that comes out of the cannon and not really worry about it as an AD carry. So smart pickup coming through there. I think he does need to swap it over for the Relic late game because of how important that is to support the engage. But as we said, Nidalee, very strong early game jungler, started up the Dragon.
Yeah, this is exactly what you're expecting here. An early Dragon coming through. No wards there, unfortunately, for EDG. I mean, Clearlove, if he was around, could tunnel in and maybe entertain a steal, but instead, Cacao and Kitty's going to take it very quickly here. No one from EDG around to the first Dragon will fall to Invictus game. And Clearlove, oh my god, he spotted it. No, he doesn't go in time. And they will get away with it.
Yeah, I think he had actually tunneled over the Krug wall, so wasn't able to get in there without using his flash. So smart move to let that one go. But now the perfect timer means that at about 10 minutes when that is back up, we'll be able to contest.
Yeah, fortuitous ward perhaps for Clearlove, despite not being able to steal it. At least we'll get the timer. So Mako in the top now, actually looking aggressive. Maybe he wants to go in onto Zatai. We've seen Annie's in the LPL not afraid to use their flash for a kill, but instead they'll just force cannon back.
Yeah, and Koro trades extremely well with Kid there. Still has a teleport available and was just looking to get some harass down because now he can go back, teleport into lane, full mana, and be exactly the same.
Yeah, and he'll maybe even pick up another Doran's Ring to make things a bit more aggressive, and he will actually. So plenty of sustain, going to PP right back. Almost like you good at this game, Spawn.
Yeah, so really nice play actually out of Koro there. Needs to avoid the hook here and not get chunked out as soon as he gets back in lane, but otherwise, he's ahead of the cannon at this point, and that's very impressive.
Yeah, and both teams trying a little bit of a freeze. EDG seem like they're going to push it up slowly and try and get a big wave and keep the push going. And like you said, Kid couldn't get the freeze early on the bottom side, so Koro Maokai doing just fine here. He'll probably have to go the Righteous Glory, but that's okay.
Yeah, exactly right. And in this team comp, I actually think they prefer that because it's all about the hard engage coming out of the support. They've got a lot of damage out of their jungle. Rexlite still pumps out a lot of AoE damage, so don't really need that threat in the top lane, just need a lot of the CC.
And Clearlove actually in the top lane, again, trying to pick on Zatai a little bit. Is forced back, unfortunately. Can't really find a successful lane for a gank, but Zatai struggling to get some CS despite being ranged here.
Yeah, it certainly is, and really can't push out the wave at all, can't break the freeze, hasn't been able to get a free shop in, already used his teleport, so is in a little bit of trouble. Doubled in CS by Koro, who is really farming quite nicely from afar, and as the hook goes wide, and Cacao not being able to respond has gone into heavy farm mode, and this is normally danger time for Cacao. If he goes into the mode where he's trying to just keep up in farm, IG don't look the same team. They need him controlling the map.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a couple games early on in 5.2 especially where he was doing a lot more farming, but he needs to be high impact someone with a jungler like Nidalee who, again, very powerful but quite narrow. Need to get in early.
Yeah, you certainly do, and I like the way you describe Nidalee. Very linear playstyle is the way I like to look at it. Does one thing extremely well, that's get a lot of burst damage down in the poke and then execute people, but apart from that, really doesn't add much to a team comp.
No, and as we look through some of the early builds developing here as well, we've got Rookie going back for his T here. We've already got an augment there for Pawn. I assume that has to be the Death Ray that's been upgraded. Chilling's might the upgrade there for Clearlove. Going for the Trailblazer for Cacao for a bit more. And Mako even doing a bit of a roam, but thinks better of it. Just warding.
Yeah, so the Trailblazer for Nidalee, nothing new there. Just allows you to keep your mana up in the jungle. Hasn't gone for the tier extremely early. If you are going to go tier, I actually prefer it even before jungle items now. You just pick it up and it's a very good buy. Of course, Nidalee just stays sustained throughout the jungle extremely easily. But in the mid lane, the surprise for me is with a tier, Ezreal has managed to get a CS advantage.
Yeah, I mean, he's a very strong early laner, but Victor's fine in a lot of situations, and Rookie just playing the lane very safe, very calm, and looks like he might even be going for a Trinity Force after his tier.
Yeah, so tier Trinity Force, so we'll be going for the fast push Ezreal build. Hasn't elected to go for the Manamune straight up as we see Zatai. Cacao, sorry, taking away another red buff because the duo lane still is on the bottom of the map, and Clearlove doing the same, maybe looking for a dive.
Yeah, level 6 now as well if he needs to get around the rest of his jungle, but going to try and engineer a dive here on the top side. That wave's pushing in slowly here. Mako does have his ultimate ready to go. His stun ready to go, and Deft has his ultimate, so this could work quite well. His Zatai, though, does have his flash and his ulti ready.
Yeah, so the thing about diving a cannon is the fact that he can stun all 3 members if he gets rid of minions. That's the key there. Sees a dive, very good sense coming through.
Yeah, really nice. So the knockup is going to just miss. Actually, Zatai does go in there, gets one stun, but first blood goes to Clearlove. Mako, great flash stun.
Yeah, really nice play from Mako. There's Zatai W'd much too early in that situation. Was never going to get the second stun if he went that early, and unfortunately paid for it with his life. So very good gank coming out of EDG in the top lane, forcing pressure, knowing that Dragon wasn't up. There's really nothing that IG can do in response.
And Clearlove making the chilling smite look good there as well. Deft actually, all the pushing that they've been able to do gets them quite an early outer turret, just under 9 minutes, and the first turret goes to EDG.
And they rebalance the wave, more importantly. Only a couple of shots left on that last creep, so it will sit in the middle. No freeze will come through for Zatai, and now we're slicing Maelstrom down. Maybe another easy return game.
They could look for a dive. Blue buff. Oh my god, he kills Clearlove.
Goes fishing for a blue and gets a champion kill. You can't be mad with those results. Rookie with a fantastic play there.
That was blind as well. Very impressive stuff by Rookie. Just sensing the timing, knowing that Pawn had left lane and got maybe more than he could have asked for.
Yeah, definitely. He was not going for the kill there, but you know what? I'm sure he'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, Pawn at least got the blue buff, so there is a consolation there, but Clearlove not going to enjoy that, and yeah. Almost got both, by the way.
Yeah, nearly got both. 40 health was what it lived on.
Well, Pawn again will be happy to get his consolation blue buff there, but Rookie, very nice snipe there, and poor Clearlove.
Yeah, that's just unfortunate. And we see Def now rotating into the 2v2 lane. So now that he looks like he might even be going Bloodthirster first, now that he's picked up some AD items, is comfortable going into this Corki that hasn't yet managed to pick up a Trinity Force. Has the two most important components, but hasn't finished that one off.
And you know what? We've seen a lot of Bloodthirster first, Graves especially, in the LPL, but I kind of like it here on Sivir.
Yeah, I really actually like it because the sustained damage that comes out, the wave clear, and the fact that you have a defensive shield against something like a Nidalee. Wow.
Yeah, already those spears. That's without the Magus enchant, by the way. Doing a lot of damage.
Yeah, that was a max range as well. Very, very close to running out, but they'll look to pick up a second dragon. They have the timer on this one, but once again, Nidalee just so quick at taking this objective.
Yeah, Clearlove does throw a Prey Seeker in, kind of knows what's happening, but can't get in there in time to steal. The pink ward from IG gives them more than enough vision to know to take it, and the second dragon goes to Invictus Gaming.
So IG behind 1,000 gold because of the turret that went down, but able to equalize objectives in the form of dragons. So right now, EDG in the lead, but given another 12 minutes, if IG still maintain this stranglehold over that objective with a double AD composition, real danger lines for EDG.
Yeah, especially because that Trinity Force is going to start coming up for both of the Ezreal and the Corki here as well. I mean, they managed to kind of strong on that with basically just a Nidalee. So the next time they show up, if they've got those items completed, EDG are going to have a very tough time contesting.
Yeah, they certainly are. And Koro actually going hunting for Cacao here. Will stop his back as well. Stopped his red buff clear, I believe. Got a little bit counter jungled there, did Cacao. So danger signs here early for IG, but they just need to make sure that they're understanding when their spike is. It's at the double Trinity Force, as you said, when that Moral Mana transforms and maybe Corki's picked up maybe the BF sword or the Boots 2 coming through in the Sork shoes. Once that point of the game hits, they can rotate very effectively around the map, go back to the pseudo-IG Korean hybrid that we love to see happen and really take over the game.
Really good trade there from Deft as well, just nailing Kig with that boomerang blade. Clearlove was actually down in the bottom looking for a gank but didn't find one, and Deft's like, you know what, I think I can handle it myself.
Yeah, so Deft trading extremely well, is down in CS a little bit, but have to say has more pressure in the lane at the least, and Corki, Kid just trying to play reactively, trying to farm up.
Ooh, Mako though almost face checks Cacao. Still alive, thankfully, but if Kakao hits his spear, someone's probably going to die.
I can't believe how patient Kakao just was then, acknowledging the fact that there was a support player in his face and really not wanting to pull the trigger on it. And now you see Kitty's maybe looking for an engage here, but Kakao still patiently waiting in the wings, now backs away.
Yeah, didn't go in. Must have been a bit afraid of the anti-stun, and Def with the ulti and the heal probably would have got them out. But Kakao looking for a bit of pressure, hasn't found enough yet, but has now finished his Magus enchantment.
Yeah, so finished up the Magus, got the 2 early dragons. So you have to say, maybe not pressure around the map in kills, but has been able to do his job in securing objectives for his team. Would have liked to been a lot busier, but Nidalee doesn't fall off as the game goes on. Still will be fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit awkward. You have to, again, play a kind of a glass cannon champion very carefully. But Kakao, we saw him turn a game around with it yesterday, so he's more than capable of team fighting with Nidalee if he has to.
Yeah, he certainly is. And Kakao really repopularized the glass cannon jungles coming through anyway. Used to play Rengar very assassin-like, still plays Nocturne very assassin-like, and loves the more of Malmortius on a lot of the AD champions that he picks up. So not surprising that he is so good on this Nidalee pickup.
Yeah, just makes sense with his playstyle here. Is Mako and Def pushing down in towards the bottom, trying to get more turrets down, but haven't been too successful. That Pawn defending his turret quite well, though does have a need to see large rod that he's had for a while, and just got his Q upgraded as well.
Yeah, and I like that purchase of the needlessly large rod, because it allows him to push back against Ezreal, because Rookie's just trying to spam abilities right now in the lane, and with that, couple of Qs across the minion wave just will clear it out, as you see right there. So nice pickup coming out there, just understanding what he needs to do to farm up in this lane.
Yeah, and kept very competitive in CS against a very strong early laner here in Ezreal. Rookie, though, going to get his own blue buff this time. Clear Love survives for once after when blue buff and Rookie is involved, and we should have another donation. But his ulti is back up.
Yeah, ulti is back up, understands that Pawn disappeared, and he has the rough time. He would know about 5 minutes after I got that kill, but doesn't fire it this time.
Doesn't throw it. Knows that, you know what, I've got my blue buff. Not going to be greedy this time, and maybe if a gank comes, it'll just take it off Pawn anyway. So we'll reset a bit. The wave clear actually will come in. Ulti there thrown up by Rookie. Maybe even looking for Clear Love, which I think he found, as Clear Love just took a little bit of damage. But a very calm early game here. EDG just up 1,000 gold, but IG have their 2 dragons.
Yeah, and the 3rd dragon coming up in 2 minutes. And I guess this is the time of the game where we say if you get the first 2 dragons, 3rd one is the one that the team wants to contest, just because you never want to put a 6-minute timer on a game. And we'll see if they can set up some ward control around the area, because as you can see, the pink ward that existed for the first dragon is still around.
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't been cleared out yet. EDG couldn't make their way over there. Not even Clear Love with all his tunnel mobility was able to safely clear it out. And the bottom lane actually have both hit their important power spikes. I'm curious, who do you think wins here? We've got BT for Sivir and Trinity Force done for Corki.
Yeah, so I think that at this point in the game, Corki is stronger as a damage threat, but you can never underestimate the ability of Sivir's ultimate. Especially when you couple it with something like an Annie in a 2v2, they definitely have the advantage.
Yeah, good damage there by Pawn as well, actually poking Rookie a little bit with the Death Ray. Kakao looking again here, does have his tier up, so got it a little late, but will fill up very quickly using the pounce just by naturally moving around the map in Cougar form. And Dragon back in a minute. Both teams looking for some sort of pick, you have to think.
Yeah, so I think that on the side of IG, they're waiting for the Trinity Force to come through on Ezreal. He's got it now, but just hasn't been afforded the luxury to back. Is now looking for it. So as soon as they get that, they're going to look to force the dragon. In saying that, good Rek'Sai ultimate gets Clear Love into the danger area beforehand. It's 100% on Kakao now to be able to poke them off this and not make them start it. Yeah,
and Death still pushing in as well, trying to continue pressure in the bottom side of the map with his Bloodthirster. Clearing out wards are our EDG, the jungler and mid laner teaming up there for a little bit of that. And even an early Giant spot here for Clear Love. So EDG, they know they have to contest for this 3rd dragon.
Yeah, and they're looking for it. Don't even get the clear out there because Clear Love just knows that Kakao is in the zone. Kakao might be able to return the favor with a sweeper of his own. Not able to.
Yeah, Clear Love does find the ward that sort of telegraphed there by the spear from Kakao, but that pink ward is still there for IG. EDG don't want to walk over there. It's a little too dangerous.
Certainly don't. And meanwhile, we haven't touched on them in a while. They have been on an island, but in the top lane, a 30 CS lead has evolved for Koro. He's been able to bully out this pick in the cannon, and Zatai not having the funnest of the lanes.
No, I mean, again, sort of struggling early on. Has a mountain of gold to spend there on cannon. 2,400 gold ready to go. And Koro actually is going to get aggressive. Might have been 1v1 him. Here's Zatai pops his ulti, but Koro still chasing in. Force him back there. The ulti's gone as well. And that probably means that IG have to give up the next dragon.
Ulti and flash. That is horrible news for Zatai. And he was sitting on 2,500 gold. That was just a greedy greedy shop, and they lose bottom turret. No pressure around the map here.
Yeah, Kakao can't even pull the trigger to get the gank off, and Clearlove instead is going to pull in for support. EDG find the pink ward in that brush. Pawn is pushing aggressively into this turret now as well. He hasn't just, you know, out-wave cleared Ezreal. He's pushed him into this turret.
Yeah, he certainly has, doing a lot of damage and equalized the farm. You have to remember at one point, that was nearly 15 CS for Rookie, now back to 3. And Pawn also sitting on 1,800 gold. These guys are valuing the pressure they're putting on waves so much more than shopping at this point, and you would think that it would lead to... Ooh.
Yeah, Pawn going in aggressively. Kakao going to get ulti there. Koro in the back, going to get an instant kill almost for Victor. Mako finds Rookie, who instantly cleanses out of the stun. But EDG get the pick they want.
Yeah, and a fantastic rotation around from Koro into the mid lane, able to pick up the first kill, and that will be the Dragon, because a lot was burnt there. A couple of flashes in the cleanse, they can't contest.
Yeah, jungler dead as well with no smite here. EDG should be able to pick up this fairly easily. Ezreal team is going to come and do a lot of damage, but not enough to steal the Dragon, and EDG finally claim their first.
Yeah, a lot of poke, but they're not done.
Good damage in there. Kitty's not going to ride in, but Mako picks him up. Took the hook a little too aggressively there.
Yeah, maybe looking to get the box down and get the kite going out of the W8D comp with the Trinity Force, would be able to chase very well, but dies before it goes through. They lose 2 kills. They get nothing in return, and they've given up their control over the Dragon objective.
Yeah, nice reflexes there from EDG to kill the Thresh before that could happen, and Rookie going to try and push in and get some damage done to this mid turret, but Clearlove cleaning out his red buff. We've got a Zhonya's finished up for Pawn. Gold everywhere to spend here for EDG, and Deft even going to clean out the mid lane.
Yeah, so Deft grabs the mid lane farm. He'll appreciate that. 186 CS now in front of the Corki, and 2 things are really confusing me about this game. The lack of boots, too, from AD carries until it was just picked up them from Rookie. It's just such an important build-up. And the ability for EDG to use wave pressure to really hold IG in negative situations. They've done it extremely well. Koro was trying to leech some experience in this bottom lane. Now does back away, but they're continuing to deny Zatai farm.
Yeah, and in fact, they've popped Deft into the top lane now. Even Mako's going to rotate in, so they're going to keep pushing it. EDG not interested in grouping if there's no objective to fight for. Zatai says hello to the Ezreal ultimate. That was Rookie's though, so no kill going to be forthcoming here, but Zatai, Anki to the top lane, continues to get pressured now.
Yeah, so can't really move out there with the 2 ranged people to support, and the AD carry really can't wave clear with that lightning rush. We've already discussed Kennen's difficulties in this situation and has been forced away. Finally, IG pick up their first turret. It is only 3,000 gold, and they're 2 turrets behind, so there is standing gold on the map, but they need to make a move soon.
Yeah, and Koro's down the bottom. They actually have fully lane swapped here at this point, although we do see Sivir move back as well. Deft actually going for a Phantom Dancer here as his second item, so lots of mobility in that build.
Yeah, certainly, and a little bit more critical strike coming through from the Phantom Dancer, of course, and just a little bit of an update on the tiers. About 700 for Rookie coming through. Not as lucky for Kakao. He's only up to about 300. So Rookie will get his transform relatively soon. Kakao will need to wait a lot longer for it.
Yeah, got to hop a few more times in that Cougar form there, really get that tier pumped up and stacked up, but EDG just looking fine here. I mean, Maokai still building cost-efficient tank items. Koro, no major items done yet, but not too fussed about that. Actually has an upgraded trinket nice and early, so going to be able to put some extra wards down for his team.
Yeah, the important upgraded trinket coming through nice and early. All sweepers and a scrying or on the side of Invictus Gaming, and 3 sweepers as well as the upgraded trinket for the top laner. Nice adaptation to the new patches. We see Clearlove maybe looking to get aggressive onto Rookie, sweeps out a ward.
Yep, 2 upgraded sweepers there as well for EDG, and who love to do early Barons. And with all the vision they've gotten, the sweepers they've been able to get, they're actually just straight on top of it.
Yeah, they are very squishy still at this point in the game. Only the Warden's Mail coming through, but this might be the reason for the Bloodthirster here. Very good control of the Baron objective.
Mako actually popped Tibbers there as well, so they are really committed to taking away this Baron, and they'll sneak it away from IG, who have absolutely no idea it's happening.
And what a heads-up play out of EDG, starving them of map control after they took down those 3 outers, and they would have seen Maokai just have Baron then, and that's horrible news.
Yeah, oh, well, they stole the Baron. I guess we'll get the rough timer and see what we can do next time here. But EDG, just so clever, played all of the pressure smart, got the outer turrets down, and have just taken over this map.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, it's a 5,000 gold lead for them at only 22 minutes in, and you can't say that anything major's really happened apart from that good catch with the flank coming through from Koro, and from there they've just controlled the IG lineup.
Yeah, they're just keeping people back, pressuring the waves. Clearly actually almost finds Cacao in his own jungle, who's now being forced out of his blue side as well. So, I mean, EDG is starting to take over more than just half of the map. They're taking 2/3 of it now.
Yeah, they're strangling them off everything, and Cacao not able to farm up. A lot of damage still coming through, but the Baron Dub creep's too strong at this point.
Yeah, I forgot about the Baron buff there. Those creeps doing work there to take out the first tier 2 turret of this particular matchup. EDG now 4 turrets to 1. Dragon back in a minute 35, but EDG are not done with the push.
No, they're certainly not. Rotating into the top lane. Fantastic map movements coming through here, and as a unit of 4, they can achieve the exact same result. Cannon level 12, so does have the ability to get that level 2 Maelstrom across, maybe look for a flank, but EDG, nice and smart, back away.
Yeah, use those empowered recalls, get back very swiftly, and it's funny that we always say this about EDG, especially when they play Corki, that they're so good at grouping together, rotating and taking turrets. But even on Sivir here for Def, they're doing the exact same thing. It's not just a champion thing. It's a team mentality thing.
Yeah, it certainly is. And they understand when they have the advantage and how they can pressure it. So not necessarily do they have an advantage in a 5v5 team fight. With how far ahead they are now, I think they would still win one head-to-head. But they've avoided the cannon completely, not let him get into any chokes, and really played around what they do well, which is wave clears, push waves out, control where the map they are, ward up the important areas, and get objectives.
Yeah, and it's not individual outplay necessarily, but just outplaying them on the map here at EDG. Cacao can't find much pressure at all on this Nidalee, and it's kind of true for the rest of the IG lineup. They haven't found a split push with their W8D comp. And Pawn, by the way, he's been doing some creative stuff with his build, but Kitties actually might get caught in Mako. Gonna come in for the stun, and Pawn just collects the kill.
Yeah, and really nice. Once again, denying vision, forcing them to get further out from their base that they're otherwise comfortable to, and make them pay once again with good hard CC.
Yeah, so highlighting Pawn's build slightly. Did go for 2 upgrades, then got a Zonya's, got a need to see large drop between the augments. Now has a cooldown boots that are upgraded with the distortion enchant to really make sure the Ghost and Flash look good, but he has a Sheen now, so he's probably going for a Lich Bane.
Yeah, so going for the Q auto attack, the Lich Bane is absolutely massive on that one, and against 2 squishy AD carries where you're looking for more burst potential, I like the pickup.
Yeah, and the nice thing is that build's sort of relying on being short range here. Is EDG going to take another dragon for themselves here? And IG at this point just can't contest, but you know what? Victor can be quite short range when he needs to use the Q. Civ are very good at getting you in range.
Yeah, exactly right, and of course the movement speed always going to help on that one, as they also pick up the blue buff. Cannon's in the back line.
Yeah, goes to clear the Tiger to get stunned up immediately. The Rookie trying to find someone, and a good amount of damage coming. But Pawn just blows someone up with the help of Koro. Now Koro going to pick up the next kill onto the Tiger, and a flash forward there, trying to find the Twisted Advance. Kids not in a good spot there. Koro finds him with a Twisted Advance, and Def takes him out. Cacao, though, will get the first kill there for IG, and now Rookie going to poke in again, and he clear in trouble now as well. Cacao's going to dive in, a good knockup, almost gets it in, and Pawn is somehow escaping them. Clear just dodging that next ulti. Pawn going to try and outplay them, does get the kill. Rookie, though, cleans up the trade. Now Koro going to dive in and try and finish it off. A Prey Seeker there is all the help that they can offer, but Koro completes the ace.
So an ace for 3 members, probably better than IG were expecting out of that fight, but Koro and Pawn on the back line wreaked havoc. There was nothing they can do, and all of a sudden Zitai, who thought he had a fantastic flank, was by himself in the middle of 3 EDG members with absolutely nowhere to go.
I mean, that was probably too aggressive on Cannon's part. I think I can say that about Zitai, but Cacao again on this Nidalee, assassinating key carries in the fights and almost turning them around. But like you said already, those solo lands from EDG are pretty good.
Yeah, they're such a good 1-2 combo. They just communicate so well, especially for players that haven't played together for that long, but just great understandings of the game. And from here, they've built an even bigger lead. 9,000 gold is the exact total, and Cacao, he's gone gold efficiency, picked up that Zonya, the Void Staff, and really is trying to still have an impact, but he's not the problem at this point. It's the fact that Zitai ineffective. Kitties hasn't had the best of games on Thresh either, and this W8D comp that is supposed to push turrets and get ahead just hasn't been able to do that.
No, couldn't out-wave clear the Sivir and the Victor apparently, and even Koro has decent wave clear despite not having any AP, but he is so tanky on this Maokai. Frozen Heart, Spirit Visage, and now the Righteous Glory to come through as well, plus the Merc Dreads. Maokai is immovable for IG.
Yeah, he certainly isn't. Until those Blade of the Ruined King is finished up on Rookie, doesn't have a way to deal with it. Is dumb but kid, but Kid, he thought he had fantastic positioning over the wall, thought he was being very cute. 1 ward and 4 members just blew him up in that fight. Needs to position behind his front line a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, the Thai a fine flank, but the rest of the team not set up here. So Baron back in a minute 20. Clearly going to take the Scuttle Crab away, and EDG already snuck away the first Baron. You have to think they're more than happy to, even if IG want, fight them if they come to contest.
Yeah, exactly right, and that's the point of the game they got to. They used their movement around the map to get an advantage, and now if it does come to that brawl, they don't really mind because they've got Kennen to the point in the game where he's relatively ineffective. So very well played. They've got engaged tools in Clear Love and Mako. You can't look past Koro in the top lane as well, and their peel's fantastic. So overall, this is a very well played game so far by EDG.
Yeah, a great comp here. I love the draft they put together. They're going to siege the tier 2 now without Baron. A little bit harder as the Tyler gets chunked to 60% health by the Victor.
Yeah, that is 1 death ray coming through, and Zatai has to recall. There is no way he can engage after that. Does get a heal from Cacao, but without a blue buff, not going to be able to keep him alive for that long. And 30 seconds, they're once again baiting up the Baron area.
Yeah, EDG going to try and retain all of the vision. Pawn going to look for someone. Does get spotted off by the Lantern, but was hoping to pick someone up. Mako actually going aggressive. Pops the righteous glory. Kitties might get stunned up here. He flashes up, but he's still stunned there. The damage goes in, and Clear Love picks up the kill on the support.
And Kitties is having a nightmare of a game. 0-4. It's not his fault. He just doesn't have any vision to play with. There's been no assistance in vision throughout the game. EDG have controlled every important part of the map after about the 13, 14 minute mark. And what that's meant is that he's had to go into dangerous areas to try and get vision for his team and been repetitively punished.
I like that you mentioned vision as well, by the way, because this is a game that Clear Love has played on Rek'Sai without a sight stone.
Yeah, so able to get in there and not really have to utilize that, as we see an Ezreal ultimate coming across, doing a lot of damage. They still might try and fight.
Zatai actually going in there onto Clear Love. He actually pops his on his Koro, though, zoning at everyone else, and Death gets the first kill. Koro still not dead, but finally goes down to Nidalee, but Death is cleaning up people, gets the next kill for the double. Pawn flashing in, really wants to clean it up here. The heal used by the Pawn zaps one. Kid goes down as well. 4 kills to 1 for EDG.
6-1-3 Pawn, but more importantly, 2-1-10 on Koro as a top laner has been involved in 12 of 14 kills. What an impressive game coming out. Still going for the Baron. Might look a little bit risky, but it's only really against the support. Def will be able to tank it up if he so pleases, and this one will be picked up. Baron number 2, EDG.
Yeah, he's just trying to block the hook from Kitties, I think, as well. Yeah, it does block a beautiful spell shield.
Yeah, so able to get rid of that one. Really nice heads-up play out of Deft, and they pick up the second Baron, and that's at 13,000 gold at 30 minutes pastry time. That's almost a clinic being put on by the best team in the LPL.
It was, and you know what? I can't even think about the last 30 minutes that have happened and pick out one person that's really had a stand-up performance or a champion that's really thrown IG off here. It's just everyone in this team are playing so well together.
Yeah, exactly right. It's a team effort. It's EDG coming together very, very strong, and I guess showing the multifaceted game they like to play around how they like to control waves, the ability they give Clear Love to be able to force junglers into his kind of game. And if you can force Cacao to be ineffective on probably the strongest jungler in the pack, you have played a beautiful game.
Yeah, and Clear Love, again, it's not a flashy Lee Sin game from yesterday. It's just a very standard day at the office with Rek'Sai for him. And EDG, they do this with Corki LeBlanc a lot of the time. The fact that they can do it with Sivir and Victor as well is just insane to me.
Yeah, it certainly is. And you saw they were forcing Zatai to sit on 2,500 gold at one point. They were forcing Ezreal to sit on. He wanted his Trinity Force power spike and had to go 500 gold past that point to even be allowed to shop because of how hard they were pressuring these turrets. And from there, it just hasn't meant anything for IG.
And Zatai gets spotted there as well by Clear Love's Prey Seeker. EDG can move in. Def does eat a spear there for Cacao, but pretty healthy with the Bloodthirster shield. Good spell shield there as well.
Yeah, so actually walking back into tank it for his team. Deft has got the swagger back in his step and looking very strong this game on Sivir, a champion that we've seen fall away a little bit, but being brought back very nicely.
Yeah, kind of resurrected here and brought back to life in pretty stellar fashion here by Deft. And a player we normally applaud for having good summon and spell timings and reflexes. These spell shields are just style at this point.
Yeah, exactly right. Extremely confident play coming out, and that's what you like to see when they're playing League of Legends. And Rookie, he's had an okay game, really hasn't, I guess, been the eye-opening AD mid player that we sometimes have seen. The Ninja game comes to mind when I think about outstanding Ezreal performances. But as we mentioned, it's not that IG's really done anything wrong. It's just that EDG has made them play a game that they don't want to play.
Yeah, and it shows here. I mean, Zatai fallen behind in his lane, probably the biggest person that's been held down by the way EDG played. And they did focus a lot of their resources there, so that's not strictly Zatai's fault, I suppose. But you're right, EDG have just controlled the pace of this game from minute one here, and IG have never gotten to do anything proactive, it feels like. I'm amazed they actually have 5 kills.
Yeah, so I think that what they look at here is they need to put together a pick comp next time around. I think that they really need to go back to that way of playing for IG, be able to force kills around the map, get an engaged support, get the Leona, get the Gnar back on side, and really force it that way. But looks like EDG pushing in to finish up the game.
Yeah, this turret is just going to melt here, and this inhib should follow soon after. Mako charging in as well with Koro. Righteous Glories everywhere, but they'll take out the inhibitor.
Yeah, so they take that. Ooh.
Zatai looking for a very good flame, but just gets blown up there by Deft and Pawn. Koro still taking in. They're going to peel off towards Kakao. Rookie forced to get away as he gets shielding some out of the knockup. They're coming in depth, flashing aggressively forward. Does get the Ezreal. Pawn chasing in on Kakao. Twisted advance lands it on Nidalee. The last kill comes through and a 5-for-1 ace for Edward Gaming.
And the ace was Mako accidentally tanking the turret the whole way through. The surrender vote, I think, comes in. Maybe just let him finish it up normally. No, there it is, and wow, EDG, 20,000 gold in a 30-minute game, and that was beautiful.
That was beautiful, and again, no single standout performances. Koro had a great game, sure. 17 out of 19 kill participations at 2-1 and 15. Plenty of kills for Dev, plenty of kills for Pawn, but just across the board, everyone played kind of how they were expected to, and IG just never got to do anything fun.
Yeah, it was a game where, as you said, IG, which is dictated to, they didn't get to play their kind of game, and at the end of the day, that could have been any team in the world, and the result would have been no different. EDG, after the 2 dragons went down, controlled start to finish.
Yeah, and they just knew exactly what they wanted to do there. I mean, just in a ridiculous game. They're incredible. I'm almost speechless, so I'll take a quick break and get my words back, but don't go anywhere. EDG versus IG Game 2 is coming right up.